Okay, so hello, Amber.
Hey, Barbara. It's good to see you.
I'm going to introduce you. So this is Amber. She's now an or mediator uh, already, but it's for her to explain her. She's an or mediator. First of all, where are you based?
In Raleigh, North Carolina.
In Raleigh, North Carolina. And she will explain her experience with aura transformation. Obviously, she went on to become an aura mediator, so she wanted to expand more and train more. But yeah, she had an amazing experience. So, and it's very beautiful to hear her share. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw Barbara on an interview and she was talking about aura transformation and I like knew right away I had to go into it and explore more. I probably emailed her like in a almost a panic, like I need to do this now. Um, but yeah, I just knew I needed to do it. I think I had done a lot of energy work and exploration before that. And I always was seeking something like I couldn't really feel the energy. I would go to Reiki and I couldn't really feel it working for me or, doing it on other people. And I felt like I had a lot of stuck energy that I had worked so hard, or I felt like I was working so hard at it and going to Reiki and other energy teachers, and it just felt like it wasn't moving. And I also felt like I wasn't able to do stuff and regulate my own energy very well. And
Meaning,
when,
yeah, like for
yeah,
example,
yeah, I felt like when I would go to the store or go to work, it would just drain me, or I would absorb other people's energies, and I would feel like I had to do yoga and take a bath and meditate, for every single day to like feel better. And then go into the next day and have to do it all over again. It just felt like this unending loop of self-care that I felt like I had to do in order to survive a
not even
normal
like live
day.
good, but just sort of like survive to keep your energy to not be like to not be frazzled by life, basically, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct. And it was when I heard you speak, Barbara, on aura transformation, I was just like, yeah, this is what I've been searching for. And I came to you and yeah, aura transformation. I feel like even after that first day, I walked around LA at the time and I had like this person like bow down to me. And it was just like this, and I still think about it because it just felt like, wow, all of myself came back to me, all of my power, all of my energy, like my true self is here now. And it's like in, in my energy, in my aura. Like it's not just like floating around anymore. Like it felt like I came back to my true self
Yeah.
and like found that again. And I think that's like the most powerful part about aura transformation is like you like meet your true self in the process of
Yeah,
it.
and I think it's very like so what happened to Amber, what she's saying is she finished her first session of Aura Transformation because it's two, no? So she finished her first upgrade and then she was walking down LA and she had somebody like kneel down and call you like something like you're a queen or something like that, right? You told me something like
Yeah, they like
uh,
literally like bowed. It was so like got on a knee. Yeah,
yeah,
like
which is very crazy, but it was sort of like it just represents the magnificence of our essence, which we all are. We have this incredible, like we've been limited, right? And we don't feel like we're good enough. We don't feel like we're like this whole thing because our energy is not with us, the this creative energy that we are. So all of a sudden you had landed that, you had released the frequency that was the low frequencies the all I don't know whatever it could be, I don't know what it was, but it's like we have so much that we carry that we don't even need to know. And it's like we
yep.
all carry like guilt and shame. We come from generations of war and killing and all of these stuff. So then all of a sudden you release all of that at a cellular level and you came into this other frequency where your spirit, where your energy can come into the body and your system, and then and it's your magnificence. So then it was incredible because you finished that session and then you had somebody sort of like bowing down to your energy, like, which is amazing.
Yeah, it was a powerful experience and I do love aura transformation for the fact that it focuses on such like new energy and bringing in like the good. And that process of bringing in the good, as you said, releases quote unquote like lower frequencies or bad energies. Like
Well, the
versus,
outdated stuff, that stuff that is
right.
that is outdated, that we
Yes,
can't
versus
evolve with.
focusing on the bad and trying to release it.
Mm.
It's almost like it's like um I feel like there was so many times in my life prior to our transformation where I was like focusing on again, quote unquote, the bad or like the hard stuff,
Yeah.
the blocks, and I felt like that almost blocked it more because you're like so focused on that. Where aura transformation was so beautiful because it focuses on the good and it brings in all this new energy that just like releases everything. It's almost like when you eat, like really good food, it can like release, like you just naturally like release it out. You don't really like think about when you go to the bathroom. Like you just go to the bathroom and then you move on versus like focusing on that. I know it's a bad analogy,
Yeah.
but
So
that's what I
no,
love
what
about
you're
aura
saying now is
transformation.
so key because it's all aura transformation and the new time energy. It's like this new time we're going into. It's all about this. It's about um you leave in the back the past. It's like that's released, that's there. We're not focusing our energy in that past anymore. So because we focus our energy, that's what we're creating. So you're not focusing on that past anymore and that like all of that stuff, which you're going to create more. If you're looking at the trauma all the time, you're going to create more of that or where that came from or why I'm like this. And you start focusing, you got like all this new built energy you brought in and you're focusing on what you want to create. And this is
Yeah.
the new energies we're creating because we have to create a lot of stuff here on this earth. You know,
Mhm.
we have to create a lot of stuff to have a good life and to feel joyful and happy and sustain a high frequency. So we're focusing on that new stuff, right? So it's so key what you're saying. It's about word transformation is about this, about like leaving the past behind
Mhm.
and moving on into being present in our bodies and into the future what we want to create. So releasing those limiting beliefs, releasing that limitation, that debris, and creating this new from
Yes.
from a place of possibility because all of a sudden you feel so much more free, right? To be able to
Mhm.
create because you don't have that holding you back. It's like those chains are gone.
Right. Yes. And
Yeah.
it is a long enough session too, like that first session, and it feels daunting at first, like you're like, wow, 3, 4 hours, but you have time to like bring in so much new energy into like every area of your life that it can really feel like you leave there being like, wow, I can really change and make changes and have that, like that focus is very different from
Yeah.
when you walked in the door like that 3 hours.
Yeah.
So
It's
it doesn't feel like it's tough.
Yeah, it's because when you have your energy for yourself and your energy's present in your body and within, you're present with your energy, you've got focus. You can channel that energy sort towards what you want to go do and what you just have energy to live. It's life force, right? It's our willpower, our life force. So it just keeps and it keeps giving.
Mhm.
Whereas I think before when you have the old structure before, you have all these energetic leaps. You have all these like you have this emotional baggage. You have all these like energetic ties and should do's and who I'm supposed to be and like all these conditionings that are
Mhm.
just so heavy and pulling us back. And then all of a sudden you're like free of these in just one set, which is the amazing thing about word transmission is you're free of it in like two and a
Mhm.
half hours. Then you have another hour and a half or whatever, to balance everything. But in only that time, and you're sort of free of it. And then what happens? You have a lot of energy to start creating your life, which is incredible.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I loved about it.
Yeah,
It works. It's like a long session, but it's so worth it
yeah.
in
That
in every
doesn't
aspect.
feel long.
It
Did it?
does, it goes by quick.
Yeah, yeah, you lose because that's consciousness also. A consciousness like there's no time or so you just sort of like don't it's like a lot of people finish and they're like it's already been no and then yeah it's such nice energy that well it's you're receiving yourself so you sort of don't want to finish.
Yes. Yeah, and for me, I think prior to our transformation, people would do energy work, and there was like some things that I could feel, or like changes. Obviously, I would feel better after Reiki, but like it was, I just didn't know what was either plaguing me or how to fix it or kind of what to do or how to feel that energy. And I feel like with the crystal energy, the aura transformation energy, like I could really feel it like in my body working like I don't know. It was like the first time I was like, wow, like energy is a thing. Like I can, I can truly feel it in my body. And again, yeah, feel my energy come back to me, which was really,
That's
really
so
exciting
beautiful.
for me because I had spent like years before
Yeah.
trying to find it.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. That's so amazing. And it's because also because we're so smushed together with like everyone else's energy, the collective energy, everything that we can't feel. And that was for me as well for a transformation. After it, I was like, oh my God, I'm so clear of what
Yeah.
my stuff is and what I'm feeling
Hmm.
and what other people are feeling. It was such a definite um like
Down.
separation boundary, where I was like, oh, okay, no, this, okay, now I know perfectly. Like, and it's
Mhm.
amazing. That's very helpful because that energy that you're feeling is also your intuition, which is your spirit also as well. So then you're much more guided around in life. Like it becomes just an easier experience to live on this earth.
For sure. Yeah, I think even after it's so interesting because you've probably for the first, how many years before I got Aura transformed, it's like I've used like my mind to make decisions because it's like I can't tap into my spirit and my intuition very quickly. So to make a decision about what to eat or a bigger decision, I felt like was so hard to get clarity about like what I needed to do. And now after aura transformation, to your point, because you have your intuition in every cell of your body, it's like so much easier. You can feel it in your body, like this is for me, or this isn't for me, or this is like kind of in the middle and it's fine. And yeah, that's been like the best part.
Yeah, yeah. And it sort of moves you. Your intuition moves you, you follow. And it's not like a process, a mechanical like brain process, which usually like if you start thinking about it, the fears or the confusion comes in. But when it's like just a bodily experience, you can just move through it, which is very somatic, what people say. It's an embodiment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then amazing things happen for you after aura transformation as well. So, I don't know if you want to share a little bit of just like actual facts of things.
Hmm.
Or,
Yeah, I would say after aura transformation, I think the biggest change for me, or a couple of big changes. One, I think like a month after I met now my husband, which I was older. I think at the time I was like in my 30s, 31, 32 when I got aura transformed. And at that point, you're like starting to be like, oh my God, am I ever gonna meet someone? Internet dating sucks. Like, and even if you went on an app, like I felt like I didn't know how to sort through people. Like there was either so many people or I couldn't attract the right person.
yeah,
And
like so overwhelming, right? Everything's sort of like at
yes,
you, and it's like, yeah, you can't think
yes.
straight. It's a blur. Yeah.
And literally, a month after I went on an app for like 2 days, went on a date. I had to sit there. I remember sitting there with like, there was a few people I was talking to. I remember sitting there and my intuition was just like, oh, this person, Quinn, him. And we went on a date and it was just like, yep, like just all of our values and even spirituality like aligned very well. So it
And you
was,
two even like look alike, similar, which that's
yes,
another
yeah,
topic,
we're
like
very
very spirit
tall.
based thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. And how he thinks about energy and stuff is very prior because he's now aura transformed, but this is like
Oh,
prior to him being aura transformed. He would speak about like, oh, like the crystal energy kind of like very clearly, which was so crazy to meet someone. I'd never met someone like that. So it was huge for me to be able to attract someone that aligned so closely to what I value and needed.
hmm. And it was
So that
also
was
very fast. Like you met and then you guys got married really quick, no? It was like
Yes.
very,
Yeah, after like a year and a half, we
yeah.
got so we yeah, we met. I think a year after we met, we decided to move to Raleigh. So we went into all of that and we weren't married at the time. So we were living in Minneapolis and started the journey of moving here. And I don't think I would ever have moved somewhere across the country without being aura transformed, away from my family and everything I had built in Minneapolis at the time. So I thought
So like
that
aura
was also a huge
transformation,
leap.
just that whole process gave you like more willpower or more
Mhm.
just like inner strength, knowing and inner wisdom of like taking the that courage, right? Also
Yeah.
that
And
made
just that confidence too. I think prior to transformation, it was very difficult for me to know in my heart what I truly wanted. Like what makes me happy, what brings me joy, like what do I want to go after, negating anyone else's opinions, like can I go after this and for myself. And I think moving was a huge step for me because I was like, yeah, I like Minneapolis, but I don't like the weather. Like, I want to be outside more. And I think it was a huge for me because I had to make it happen and I had to pursue it. Like, I had to get a new job here. I had to, find a house, like all of these things to make it happen. And it made me happy to do all of those, even if it's a lot of work.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah. It gives you courage. You realize like, oh, I can do this, you know, and it builds up your whole, yeah. But
Mhm.
also what happens, I think like what I see with aura transformation is it clears so much so quickly. And it's clearing, yeah, that emotional baggage that we carry, but those limiting beliefs too, the mind that goes like, we have like this sort of like these call them limiting beliefs or belief systems, but they're the, sort of like these internal fears we have, really big ones, that we've been having for so long. So it's like if we're moving away from our family, which is our secure, like security system, we think we're in threat, we think like, so it's like all of those I see over and over in sessions, just sort of like, and for me, just like all these like sort of like mental programs and belief programs that I would have were just like lifted off, and
Yeah.
and you realize, oh no, like I'm safe, I can do these things, and yeah, and you feel safe. I think like the most important thing is feeling safe in one's body, because when spirit is in the body, your intuition is in the body. When you're in your body, you can you feel home with it,
Mhm.
right? So you're carrying all your energy. You're carrying your energy with you. That's home, and then you have this energy to be able to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say probably the second biggest thing that after aura transformation was my body in a sense of I feel like one, I've struggled a lot with skin issues prior to aura transformation and literally within like I had tried everything. Like I had like I like ate really well, I took whatever supplements for your skin. Like I felt like I had tried everything and like months, just like a few months after it like cleared up.
yeah,
It's crazy. It was amazing to me, and I've never had issues after that.
yeah. I had this person, and he was young. I only had to do a balance on him because only people that are like born before 96 need a whole aura transformation, right? Some people a bit like, or a bit more, but he was young. He was much younger, so I just had to do a balance on him. But he had like rosacea for a
Mhm.
long time. His mom brought him to see me, but he was really open, wanted to, and young, but an entrepreneur, had like companies and had all this rosacea, and they told me, like, I didn't ask, I saw it, but I didn't ask about what that was. And
Mhm.
so we did his balance, and then the day after, his mom calls, and she's like, what did you do to him? We've taken him for like years, he's been seeing doctors and dermatologists to see about his skin, it wasn't healing. He
Mhm.
slept that night, and the next morning he woke up and his skin was perfect. And it was
Wow.
like, we're not, I don't know, it was like, the fire coming into place or whatever. But yeah, it's like that crazy. It can be so fast, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I was just like, this is gonna be my life forever. Like I
yeah,
don't know what to do about it anymore. And yeah, it just healed
yeah.
very quickly. And I think just to what we were talking about earlier, I felt like so much more connected to my body after. I do a bit of dancing with like salsa dancing, zouk, and it's partner dancing. And I think prior to Aura Transformation, it was again like you're absorbing all this energy and you're dancing, it's like you're touching another person going to a social, and it's a lot of energy moving around. And I used to struggle because there'd be some nights before Aura Transformation where I'd feel really good, but probably 80% of the time I'd be like, okay, now I feel weird leaving because I have all this energy with me and I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know how to clear it. Like it just feels, now I feel like gross the next day. And now it's like with such the boundary and like the crystal energy and just like it's so quick to leave a venue or even leave a dance and be like, I'm just gonna send their energy back and like I'm like instantly fine now.
Hmm.
And I can move on. And so now I go dancing and I just feel one, I'm not absorbing all this energy and it doesn't make me feel gross. And then two, I feel so much connected to my body. Like I don't really practice salsa dancing or anything. Like I really don't. I just go out like a couple times a month and just have fun. And I've probably had like the best dances ever more recently or just since Aura Transformation because I'm just like, oh, I'm in my body, I'm connected, I'm centered, I'm grounded, like, and even though I don't practice, it's like I'm getting better, if that makes sense, like, or I feel better in my
Yeah,
body.
yeah, yeah. Because you're like so present and grounded. That doesn't go by like the mechanical mind, right? Of how I should be moving. It's just like an experience of allowing for that your energy to move. And
Yes.
it's how it's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Aura Transformation really gets you in your body and yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. I feel like for a lot of people, because there's a lot of people now talking about embodiment and somatics and everything. And it's sort of like, because I've done a lot of embodiment work and somatic work, a lot of dance having to, before, a lot of like dance therapy and um,
Mhm.
well, movement therapy and everything. And I feel like this is the epitome of it, sort of thing. It's finally like, because you do that work to try and and become more present and more grounded and whatever, and this all of a sudden is just boom, giving it to you.
Yep.
It's this energetics, this sort of like structure that is going to make you grounded and present. There's no way of not being. It's not having to do something to become grounded and present. It's sort of like, okay, you upgrade your structure to become that,
Hmm.
so then you don't have to do all the other stuff. And the other stuff, if you do it, it's a pleasure. It's your experience of it is of a lot more pleasure. It's not like the methodology that you do to feel better, but just to like, just because you're enjoying it.
Hmm. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. um any other, so like these are many shifts already that you're saying, but I don't know, I feel like you had like such a like I did too, such an amazing um, experience of change. And I feel like when, yeah, it just like it can just be an explosion of, especially for like very sensitive people. Like,
Hmm.
like we have like, we just like more like very energy suckers and very attuned to like, everything or the world around, that we've sucked everything in. It's amazing because it lights us up. It's sort of like finally we can be with ourselves amongst being with others. So for me it was amazing because for many years I had been like more like very much retreat, because I'd be with people and I would just feel everything, and I know like, oh my God, they have energy stuck here, they have energy stuck in their heart and here, and I would feel it in my body, which is fine if I'm doing it when I'm working, right? Because it's like my way, but not if I'm living my life like that, because I didn't want to meet friends or whatever, because it was really draining.
Yeah.
And so when I did my AT and I felt like, oh my God, I'm like this big, I know where my energy is. And like now I'm like, I don't have to like suck in everyone's things and like be enmeshed. And it was incredible. I became so sociable. I just wanted
Yeah.
to be out like in the world and experience people because it was like the most fun thing when before it had been a drag. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, it's interesting because I lived, like you said, I lived so long protecting myself, like because I didn't want to like get my energy mixed up with other people's or feel bad or I I grew up in a household where I was always paying attention to other people, where they were, how they felt, like could I help them? And it was never about like me and what I needed. And I was also I just felt like I had to like protect myself all the time. And with AT, I was like, oh, I can like open up and like receive and like I can it felt I feel like it took me a couple months to be like, no, Amber, it's okay. Like you can relax and receive energy, and you're not going to receive all this like bad,
Yeah.
weird vibes. Like it's going to be like the energy that you need that's going to help you throughout the day. And it's okay to open up. Like I think that process of opening up was really what happened to me after 18. It felt so foreign because I had protected myself for so long. So to open up was kind of crazy.
Uh-huh. 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 And that shows also like the process of transformation, we keep like I always say this is amazing because you do the process, but then the energies just you start knowing yourself more. The energies keep giving. They do have like a ton of aha. I don't know if you feel like this, but for me, it's like a ton of aha moments and being able to look at myself um, a lot more clearly with a lot
Yeah.
less. I think for me, I had a lot of judgment and a lot of shame about
Mhm.
myself, right? So I couldn't look deep into into who I was or what I wanted to change or transform or like, so like to be able to transform and change, you have to be real. You have to look, at like and but the
Mhm.
ego mind, the judgment doesn't allow you to look in a way. And for me, it was like the first time that I was like, oh wow. And I have all these things. Okay, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
perfect anyways, It's just something that I have to transform and change and and I'm doing it as the energy keeps. So that was very amazing because it's very lighthearted too, and it's very allowing. Um, because I think the hardest, um, perhaps one of the hardest things about changing is that like that we feel so much change, shame, and judgment, and we think we've been so bad and that there's something so wrong with us. But
Yeah.
really, no, there's nothing at all. We are all like so blessed, and it's like it's when we take the step to want to look in, which is that step, like when you do an aura transformation, you're doing that step in a way of
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm giving myself because I'm gonna release all of that and move into something much bigger than I am, and take up that space that I need to take up it within yourself, not like and make these changes and transformations like you did yours, like you were like, okay, I know I need to move, and and this is part of like my transformation thing, and that just builds your confidence, builds your willpower, your stamina. You're like constantly building it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say too, just before we end, maybe to your point, I feel like the aura transformation, I don't want to say it feels very feminine, but in a way, it's like this like super great balance because I had worked so hard and it felt like I made very little progress. And when you just like receive this energy, you can work through like the judgments and the shame and the protections and the lies that you tell yourself pretty easily
Yeah.
just with that like feminine receiving energy. Um, Instead of just being like very, like pointed and like we need to get rid of this, like this sucks.
Yeah.
I do feel like AT, because of how you just like receive so much energy, it allows you to move through life in that kind of like gentle way. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
amazing. It's like
Mhm.
what you're and that you're receiving is just consciousness. It's
Yeah.
and consciousness is creative power. It's creation. So then all of a sudden, that's why once you do AT, your materialization power um, expands tremendously. You
Yes.
become like, I've been able to materialize and things that I was like, wow, out of the blue, just like with one, you're a lot more, your vessel is a lot more clear, but then, you're like, just like by intention, all of a sudden it was like a week after, like half the thing I had thought.
Yes.
So yeah, it's amazing.
Mhm. Yeah, it's crazy. I was just at the expo like a month ago and just being able, I was like practicing, like, can I like magnify my energy or can I, and when I would do that, when I was like intentional with that, people would like immediately come up to me and be like, I felt like I had to come here or talk to you or something. And I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
It's
it's very
amazing.
magnetic. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very magnetic force for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This was great. Maybe another day we can do another call where you explain about the elements. We can talk about the elements if you want, because you have a big connection with the elements and
Love the
yeah,
elements
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah.
They're my favorite.
Yeah, that's
It's
cool.
hard to know what to talk about, like AT or elements, because
Uh,
the elements are so
well, it's all
cool.
together. So we'll,
I know, but
you can't talk about like or a transformation really without talking about the elements and the connection that you get with. I mean, it's just a connection you get with yourself, you get to nature, you get to the elements, which is who we are. It just, everything just amplifies, right? Your experience of life. So, but anyways, Amber, thank you so much.
thank
It
you,
was so
Barbara.
nice.
Good.
Yeah. We
You're
tried
amazing.
to do this on Instagram Live and it didn't work for us. For
Yeah.
next time, we'll get it working. So
Yes.
we'll put it up. I'll tag you on there. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that any that you're looking, you have Amber in North
Wrong.
Carolina in
Hmm.
Raleigh.
In the US.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So to experience your AT,
Yeah.
that's for you. Okay.
Perfect.
All
Hmm.
right, love. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks.
Bye
Bye.
bye.